We are going to start with a primer, and this one is called Nude by Yves Saint Laurent. This is a primer that I got from Sephora that somebody recommended that kind of provides you with a glowy look. Now, as you'll notice, I pat it on my face as opposed to rubbing it on, because when you have mature skin, you do not want to be pulling on your skin, so try to avoid that with no matter what you put on your face, whether it's cream or whatever. Just try to pat it on there as opposed to rubbing it on there. So that's basically what I'm doing here. The next thing you're going to see me do is I'm going to start working on my eyes. So I've chosen the Juvia's Place Rebel collection, and I forgot which colors these were. I think it's called Honey. And I'm going to be using the two darker colors. One in the corner of my eye, and then the other will be on the lid of my eye. Okay, you guys, my camera battery died, so you missed the part where I put the concealer on my lid. So I put the concealer on my lid from the corner of my eye to the middle, and now I'm just taking that darker color and a very small pencil, and I'm putting some of that darker color just in the crease of my eye. So I've got the darker color on the outside, and I have the lighter color on my lid, and then I've got this line that I'm creating here in the crease. What I'm going to do now is just put some of the, I guess it's what you might call a shimmer color in between the two. Just going to put that shimmer color there. And I'm going to take another brush, just a clean brush, and I'm just going to start blending it all together, because that's one of the important things that you need to do when you're putting on your shadow. Is blending is probably one of the most important things that you want to do when you're putting your eyeshadow on. You can't just put it on and then just let all those harsh lines be there. So it's really good to get a brush and just brush over all of it to make it a little bit more seamless than it would normally be. I'm a little frustrated because my camera has been acting up today, and I've not really been able to, I don't know, to get it to do the kinds of things that I want it to do. Now I'm just taking another one of my Morphe brushes and putting a lighter color up underneath my brow. And this also serves to soften that darker orange color underneath. So that's basically what I'm doing here. Yeah, I keep shaking my head because I'm telling you, I was really frustrated with this camera. I don't know what's been going on with this camera today. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some eyelash glue. Like I told you guys once before, I put eyelashes on only when I feel like my eyes are going to be able to stand it. So I'm putting on this glue on my lid as opposed to putting it on the lash. I find that it's more effective in terms of getting it to stick quickly if I put it on my lid right above my lashes as opposed to doing it on the lash, because it just seems to stick better that way when you put it on your lid as opposed to putting it on the actual lash. While I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I'm just going to put a little more of that darker color underneath my eyes, because it kind of pulls the color down from my lid, and I don't know, just kind of to make some more cohesive look for me. And then I'm going to just take a brown eyeliner and I'm going to line my bottom of my eyes, my bottom line. That's basically what I'm going to do here. No big deal. And hopefully this isn't going to make my eyes water, because I have bad allergies, especially with my eyes. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lashes and put them on, because I think the glue is probably ready for them now. I give it a chance to get tacky so that I can put them on effortlessly. So we'll see how this works today. So okay, so far so good. That one went on pretty well. See if the other one does the same thing. Sometimes they work out and sometimes they do not. And again, like I said before, I only put them on when I feel like my eyes can take it. If my face is really ready for lashes that day, because sometimes my eyes just don't take lashes very well. So what I normally do after I put my lashes on is I take this ByeMe, and I'll put the names of all these things in the description section. But I'm just basically going to draw a line over my lash, because I want a seamless line going across so that when my eyes are down or batting, they actually will look seamless. as opposed to there being, some kind of a white mark or line or whatever there. It's kind of hard for me to describe what I mean by this, but it's usually a good practice to just put this black liner on top after you put the lashes on, because it just kind of cleans everything up. I guess that's basically what I'm trying to say. Just cleans it up. Now it's time for the foundation. I use Fenty right now, the Pro Filter Fenty, and that's in the color 315. I'm not really devoted to one particular foundation over another. I just try different ones and see which ones I like. Right now I'm trying this Fenty. And basically I just take a brush after I've dotted my face with it and just use that brush to make sure that I get it good coverage. And when I say that, what I mean is I'm going to make sure that it's covered even in front of my ears. So I make sure the foundation gets there. I also make sure the foundation gets under my chin, because there's nothing worse than having foundation on and you can see a line of demarcation between your chin and your neck. And I really don't like that. So I always try to make sure that I get my foundation below my chin, down onto my neck, so that it doesn't look kind of weird, or, like it's not like seamless. And that's basically what I want it to be. So that's basically what I'm doing. Just trying to make sure that everything gets covered and that's seamless. Normally, I will put my concealer on before I put my foundation on. I don't know what happened today, but today I ended up putting the foundation on first. But normally I will put the concealer on before I put the foundation on. So you're going to see me put the concealer on shortly. And that concealer is also a Fenty concealer. Well, I guess I'm doing my eyebrows first. I thought I was going to do the concealer, but hey. This is the Benefits Eyebrow Pencil, and I really like this pencil because it kind of allows me to kind of put flecks on my brows so that I can fill them in without, too much trouble. Sometimes I stamp my eyebrows, but lately I've just been using this Benefit pencil because it's quicker and it's more precise. The stamping, is really cool, like if I'm going somewhere special, but that takes a lot of time, and when I don't have a whole lot of time, I'd rather just use this Benefits pencil. And there's a bristle brush on the other end of it that I use to just kind of brush them up after I apply the actual liner, and that's what you're going to see me do now. So yeah, so it just kind of blends them in really nice, and it doesn't make them really thick like the stamp does, but it's good enough for every day. So then after that, I'm going to use this Tynt Brow Gel. And Brow Gel, I think, is good for keeping your eyebrows in place so that they don't smudge and those kinds of things. And so that's what I use the Brow Gel for. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to my concealer now. Yeah, there it is. So this is the Fenty Concealer. And again, I'm not dedicated to any particular concealer. This one is in the color 290. And yeah, it's just lighter than the 315, and I let the girl at the store pick it out, so yeah. Normally I like to put the concealer on before I put my foundation on, because the concealer to me just makes my face look too light once it's all patted in. That's why I'm really going to spend a lot of time on this, as you'll see. I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to blend it in, because normally I'll put it on before I put the foundation on, because that's just me. I've never really understood why people put it on top of the foundation instead of underneath. But all the years that I've ever put makeup on, before I guess the 2000s or whatever, I always put the concealer on under the foundation. So this is something I don't normally do, so this was just kind of a mistake. So I'm just basically working it in as much as I can. What I'm going to end up having to do after this is probably put some powder on, and you guys know I do not put powder under my eyes. So I may have to just walk around with this lightness under my eyes, because I'm not going to put powder under there. I'll probably put powder on my cheeks and on my forehead and under my chin, but I'm just not a powder person when it comes to under my eyes. So now I'm going to do my nose. I'm taking this MAC contour powder, and I'm just going to make some lines on my nose so that I can contour my nose. I personally feel like I have a big nose, and that's kind of why I like to contour, because it helps me to make it not look so wide. And then I'm going to take just a store-bought highlighter that I got from one of the drugstores. It's probably not anything really expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if it was I don't know. I know it was something cheap. And I'll put the information down in the description section when I figure out what it is that I use. But I've had it for a long time. So I'll put that information down there. So I just kind of blend it in with the powder that's on the side. And then I'll take, as you see, a sponge and try to, blend it in a little bit more because I don't want it to be like a line, but I do want to show some shadow there. Now I'm going to use my Juvia's Place contour powder. And you guys know how to contour, so I'm not going to really get into all of that. But I'm contouring underneath my cheeks, and then I will use the blush that's also in that palette to put on my cheeks. No big deal, just, your basic contouring. My neck has been bothering me, so you're going to see me snap it a couple of times. So yeah, so now I'm just putting the blush on the top of my cheeks on both sides. Now here you see me putting some powder on my nose and on my cheeks and probably on my forehead. I just tried to avoid under my eyes. I think I told you guys that before. If I have to have powder, it's not going to go under my eyes. I'm going to avoid that area. So to finish everything off, I use the e.l.f. coconut oil setting spray. I really like it because it gives me a dewy finish and it smells really, really good too. So now I'm going to start lining my lips with my Huda Beauty Rich Brown. I think it's called Rich Brown, this color is. And I just discovered Huda Beauty, and I really do like these liners. So I got several of them after I purchased this one. I just really like the way they feel. They're not hard. Now this is the new Juvia's Place Nubian Earth color. And I think this one's called Clay. And I like this color. And then I also picked up the Juvia's Place gloss that's called Oasis, and you'll see me putting that on shortly. This Oasis gloss is a really pretty, kind of a really light orange color, but it's clear, so it's it's a nice glossy color. And yeah, after that, that's pretty much it. I don't do a whole heck of a lot else, ladies. That's about it.